Okay, another quick update. Yesterday I filed another report with the FBI, um, detailing again, giving more information, detailing the identity theft. Now I'm able to tell them the two courts involved in the UK, Carlisle Crown Court and the case number, and the court in the US, where there's been a case ongoing for quite some time, which is Texas, Texas 11th District, which is Harris County, under Judge, now I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Judge Kristin Brochel Hawkins. And in the UK, it's Carlisle Crown Court, and again, it's been ongoing for some time behind my back, with Judge Fanning and, well, up to 3 judges, the Recorder of Carlisle, who's the Chief Judge, and then sometimes there's another judge, because they operate up to 3 courtrooms on this case. There's 3 case numbers, all the same, that go from 55, 56 to 57 for my case there. I've had no due process, and I've discovered why, because obviously my identity's been stolen, as I already explained, and the way it was stolen was via an identity thief coming to Pavia, pretending to be me, and applying to the state police for a dual citizenship in my name, which indeed I'm entitled to a dual citizenship. I've lived here for 11 years, over 11 years now, and before that I already had residence here in 1990, as early as 1992, when I first came here, and I lived in various areas of Italy before, for quite a long time before I left, and then lived in Spain for 5 years, and then came back here, lived in the UK in between, worked in various places anyway, basically, which no doubt, as they've had private detectives, my life's been under a microscope. I guess they pretty much know quite a lot of, where I've moved around in Europe, etc., working and all the rest of it, in the course of my life, where, some of it they appear to know about anyway, because my life's been put under a microscope because of this crime. So anyway, I found out that they stole my identity by getting this dual citizenship in my name, and then subsequently they got the consequent passport that comes with that, the Italian passport, which I'm entitled to the citizenship, but I'd never applied for it. I started the application, then I stopped. When Brexit was occurring, I started the application, but I stopped because I realised that I probably didn't need it. So it seems like they took it out behind my back. Seems like they definitely took it out behind my back. There's no seems like about it. I've definitely I know I've hard proof they took it out behind my back. When I realised that they had my identity behind my back, they put the passport onto the synthetic fiscal code that they created to pay tax on, so that they could pay tax in my name without me noticing. I have a fiscal code that I've had since 1992, have the same fiscal code, and of course everybody's supposed to have the same fiscal code for life, the one they're awarded in Italy if you come to Italy, and then, obviously you have one that I was awarded in the UK at 16. They've created a fake one to do synthetic identity theft, and they've paid tax on it in my name, and they've linked the passport to it. And that was done to try and evade me noticing, but somewhere along the line it didn't work, and it started to show up all over my medical records. I went for a blood test. I went to have some bloods done, and the nurse that's used to seeing me, the phlebotomist, said, you got your citizenship in the end then, did you? Yeah, you went and got your citizenship. And I said, no, actually I didn't. Yes, you did. You're down here. You're showing on the system as an Italian citizen now. And I said, oh, well, that's weird, because I didn't complete it. And she went, well, you're definitely a citizen. So after that, I had a few more encounters in other official places, and they all said, "Oh yeah, you're an Italian citizen." And I looked into it, and indeed, I found that that this is what had occurred. And then other people from America reported to me that this person is the person responsible for stealing my identity, a woman called Nicole Williams. She'd actually moved 2 kilometres away from me to facilitate this identity theft. She'd gone from the UK to America to live with her boyfriend, who's well known, much older man. And then to get away with stealing my identity, she'd actually come practically on my doorstep last year. And I actually wrote to the state police an email and said, look, this person is on my doorstep 2 kilometres away, and they've got a passport in my name from you. And I got a panicked phone call from the state policeman, but all he was focusing on was whether he could throw me out of Italy, whether I was entitled to be here, whether I was, legal here, which of course I am. I do all my paperwork and stuff. I'm religious about that kind of thing. And just trying to work if he could chuck me out. So I immediately realised that what her boyfriend had brief contact with me in 2024 when they 2024 was it? Yeah. Around, it was Valentine's Day, precisely 2024, when they direct messaged me out of the blue on Facebook and started a conversation up with me. And I now realise with hindsight it was to aid them in their identity theft, because they were trying to extract details from me, like my email, so they could hack me, and my phone number. And they wanted things like my middle name and where I was born. Details, basically, my middle names, where I was born. I later on found out that they got these details. They were already colluding with my estranged brother. They're in cahoots with the crime with my estranged brother. And I later on found out that he actually assisted them fully in stealing my identity. He'd got my mum had my original birth certificate, which is the handwritten one. When you're born, the certificate basically that, your parents go to the registry office, it's written out in ink and it's hand signed, and then certificates after that are the copies that are produced. But they don't have the same validity as an original. Only original can be used as proof of identity. And then it has to have somebody with it, like, a professional, doctor or lawyer, that vouches for your identity, or a close family member that's a doctor or lawyer that vouches for your identity. And it seems that my estranged brother basically facilitated the theft of my identity to this couple. So once my identity had gone, they'd already got a fake conservatorship over me in a UK court. For this crime against me, the crime they've been committing against me. And then once my identity was gone, really it's disaster, because this couple opened a bank account here, a joint account, and managed to attach it to I have an Ing bank account. In Italy I have a bank account with Ing, and they managed to invisibly attach it to my current account, which is just in my name. So I knew nothing about this joint account initially. No mail came to my address for it. I couldn't see it. It wasn't attached on my internet banking. So I had no idea it existed until, by a stroke of luck, I started to receive notifications onto my current account just telling me that my joint account had been frozen because the co-signatory, sorry, I'm frogging my throat, co-signatory had not updated the anti-money laundering questionnaire that you have to do every year. Don't know what that is on my something. Oh, it's a bloody stink bug. Hate the things. Just bear with me 1 second, please.